What's going on, guys? Welcome to another success interview. I'm joined by Rivers Rodriguez of Next Level Soccer Academy in Abilene, Texas. Rivers has recently found some great success over the last 3 months of his business, almost doubling what he's doing, and we're here to break it down and talk to him about it today. So first off, Rivers, thanks for joining us, man. Welcome to the interview.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So, Rivers, real quick, can you give us like a brief explanation of who you are and what do you do?
Yeah. So I am the oldest of six. Grew up, entire life pretty much here in Abilene, Texas. Love soccer, played soccer since I could walk. Whenever I was 14, I had a little bit of a unique situation. I'm homeschooled, and there's a good sized soccer homeschool community here in my hometown. So a couple parents reached out to me because I'm a decent soccer player, right? They reached out to me about doing some group classes with their kids. So it was like 10 kids. I probably charge $10 a month, something super, super cheap. But from there, slowly started gaining more traction, put one foot in front of the other, and continue making little baby strides, I would say, up until a year ago. It was just myself. I had about 15 athletes personally. 1 year ago, I decided to take a leap of faith and brand my business as a Christian oriented company, Christian oriented soccer training program. Marketed all over social media, told all the parents, hey, this is what we're doing. And then all praise to God, all through his power, we were able to scale from about 15 people and just myself coaching to now we have about 13 people. Yeah, 13 people on staff, including our social media manager, and over 100 athletes.
That's awesome. And real quick, Rivers, tell everybody who's watching how old you are.
I am just turned 20. I turned 20 earlier this month. So right, almost a teenager, not quite though.
So you started basically a company when you were a teenager. Now you're playing college soccer on top of all of that, and you're still running, tens of thousands of dollars worth of business. I mean, that's incredible, man. So
Thank you.
congratulations to you. And, I know you and I linked up and we started working together about 3 months ago. So, I remember when you did come in, you were charging little amounts, you weren't really doing the membership type of beats. So can you kind of talk to me about the problems and the challenges that you were experiencing before joining the program?
Yeah, so the main issue I was running into is I was losing out on a ton of money because people weren't valuing our time as coaches. And then additionally to that, because they weren't valuing our time, I had a weak cancellation policy. I had bad margins on all of our numbers. And then a lot of money was just never coming into the business because people were canceling last minute, not rescheduling the lesson, and I was charging per session. So it was just a scheduling nightmare. On top of that, after every lesson, I was having to go through all of my Venmo, Cash App transactions, count up cash after each day after lessons, and make sure everybody was paid. And then I was having to hunt people down for money, and it was a logistical nightmare. And yeah, those are the main issues that I was having.
Gotcha. And before joining the program and starting to work with me, how much were you doing in revenue per month? It was like what, 5 or 6 grand?
I believe it was about four to five. It was about $4,000 to $5,000 a month. Yeah.
Gotcha. And what are you doing now?
Um, Biggest month that I've had since joining the program was 12.5, and that was the last month. This month, aiming for 14, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Woo! That gets me excited, man. I love to hear that. You're killing it, dude. You've doubled your business in the last 3 months. So, what do you account for that? Like, what is responsible for your success so quickly?
So the main thing that I was able to immediately make a massive jump in revenue is the changing my business structure from or business model, payment model from per session to monthly. I know I've been knowing that that's what I need to do, But until joining the program, I wasn't equipped with the tools and the knowledge to be able to actually pull it off, and have the recurring stream of revenue. That way, I'm not having to hunt people down, making sure people are paid. And it's just super, super seamless process that helped me save a bunch of time.
That's right. And I remember when you came in, and the two biggest roadblocks were how you were charging and how much you were charging.
Yep.
So how much were you charging? Because I remember you doing the per session thing. So how much were you charging for, an average one-on-one slot and a group slot before, and then now what are you charging?
So I was charging $25 for a group lesson, and then I was charging $40 for a one-on-one. Now I'm charging $67.50 for a one-on-one, and then $32.50 for a group session.
Gotcha. And when you say 32.50, you're referring to your monthly rates, correct?
Yes, so monthly it's $275 a month for one-on-ones, and then 130 a month for group training.
Now, there's a lot of coaches out there that are really concerned about one, changing up their model and how they're collecting payment, but two, more importantly, raising their prices. So for somebody who's done both, what do you have to say to them?
I would say it's a numbers game. You have to take into account, are you probably going to get less people? Yes. But the people that you're getting more for them, and then they're going to be higher quality customers, if that makes sense. So you might get a lower paying customer at those low prices, but they're not going to stay with you very long, average, right? It is a numbers game. So you want high retention. Those higher paying customers typically stay with you longer. I'd say that, and then I'd say too, if you're adding the value, to back and justify the increase in your prices, you should have no issues whatsoever, as long as you're kind of branding it and marketing right, to leads. Uh, so I would say add value first, and we worked on that obviously in this course. And then after you add the value, whenever it's justified, then absolutely everybody needs to have higher prices.
That's right. Awesome. And I know that was the driving factor in why you've gone from 4,500. So you said 4,500 to 12,500. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Got you. So I mean, you're almost 3xing the amount of income that you're making, right? Like,
Yeah.
what has that done for you in your personal life, or, with the results that you've achieved?
Um, Personal life, I'm a little bit of a unique individual, I guess. Not a big spender. What it's allowed for me, honestly, the biggest difference between 3 months ago today is I've automated a bunch of processes that would have taken me hours and hours to complete. Um, Automating processes like um, scheduling lead calls or sales calls, uh, having a business line where I can send out a blasted text message to 500 prospects, 500 soccer clients in Abilene, email blasts, uh, just automating all the processes. Now I have a ton more free time on my hands, so where I'm getting into different things like investing, networking with decently high network individuals. Um, I'm adding a house. I'm starting my own flip house project. Um, so investing into real estate, and just it allows me to leverage my money into different opportunities, um, because I have a lot more time on my hands now.
Genius. Genius. 20 years old. This kid's figured it out. This kid's figured out to take his money, instead of going and spend it on random crap that you don't need, right? He's spending it on investments. So for somebody who, is thinking about investing in themselves and thinking about investing into this program, what do you say? What do you say to that?
I would say, again, same thing I said earlier. It's a numbers game. Any investment that you make, whether it's stocks, crypto, real estate, self-education, if you feel like you're going to get a higher return on your investment, then absolutely a risk and an investment worth taking. For me, obviously, it's paid multiples. Um, and it was a good investment. And for 90% of other people, it is a good investment. I know I'm not sorry. Um, I know for me, whenever I did it, there was a money back guarantee. If you don't reach a certain mark, uh, if that's still there, then what is the point of not doing it? If you're gonna get your money back, if you don't hit the mark, um, then absolutely give it a try. Um, absolutely, it's worth it. It's like for lack of other words, very much worth it.
And what was like, what did you enjoy the most? Like, what was your experience like within the program so far?
Big great. I love the fact that it's self-paced and you get what you put into it. I'm sure there's people that join the program and they're not very active. They're not hopping on the weekly check-in meetings. They're not scheduling their one-on-one mentorship calls. They're not working their way through the modules and they probably don't get much out of it. I love the fact that if you are a go-getter, if you're a hard worker, if you take initiative into things, you can go fly through all the modules and get straight into the meat and potatoes of the course, which is learning how to learning how to run online ads.
And how soon since starting? Because I know obviously we've got great results over the 3 months. You've gone from 4,500 over 12,500, right? But how soon did you start seeing, the fruits of your labor? How soon did you start seeing those results?
I would say big revenue jump came whenever I switched all of my existing clients to the monthly um, payment plans. After that, I remember the first week that I ran ads, I brought in 17 clients through the door, and it was all group trading. So my margins just went super high on all of my group sessions. Um, so doing those two things, I would say the switching to monthly that happened within 3 weeks, and I had a major jump in revenue after that, multiple thousands. And then the second biggest jump that I had was whenever I started running the online ads, which I believe was within the first month and a half.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Well, before we get going, one more question for you here, Rivers, is, where do you see your business going in the next year, 6 months, year, 3 to 5 years? Like, give us your vision, man. Give us your plan.
I have super ambitious goals. Crazy goals. Always have in everything that I do. I have massive goals and massive plans for. But what I see for my business is one, I want to continue dominating my local market. After that, step two is I want to go branch and reach out into other cities. I've already started networking with other coaches from different neighboring cities with similar different demographics to Abilene. And so I want to, if I can do, for example, 25K a month here in Abilene, then I don't see a reason why I can't do 25K a month in 10 different cities across Texas. Um, so where I see myself in that picture is I have a love and a passion for coaching, but I want to step into more of a full-time role, running the business, almost business admin. And yeah, I see that in the next couple of years for next level soccer training.
Awesome, man. And I'm gonna be here along for the whole ride, dude. I've absolutely loved working with you. I can't wait to see what you become when you're my age, 23, 24. You got so much time, man. You are going to be killing it in this next decade. I'm so excited. So give us some Instagram handles, YouTube channels, like whatever the people can reach out to you, follow you, what you're doing.
Yeah, if you ever want to stay up to date with what we got going on, follow us at Next Level Sports Trading on Instagram and Facebook.
Awesome. Awesome. Rivers, thank you so much for joining us, man. I know your story is going to absolutely blow the socks off of people and just inspire them. So thank you so much for doing this, dude. If you are a coach, soccer, basketball, any sport, and you are looking to take your business to the next level or trying to start your sports training business, then book a call in the description below. The link's below. Book in. You'll get on a call with me. We'll talk more about the program, see if you're a good fit, and change your life. That's everything for today's interview. Rivers, thanks for joining us. We're signing out. Peace.